Hi, I'm Tori and I wanted to share with you my recipe for lemon pepper chicken. It's a favorite of mine because it's easy. It takes about 30 minutes to make. It's great for lunch on a salad or on a bed of rice for dinner. And I just think the flavor's phenomenal and it's very simple to make. So let's get into the ingredients. You'll need 4 pounds of bone-in, skin-on chicken thighs, 1 lemon, 3 tablespoons of butter, 2 cloves of garlic, roasted garlic powder, cayenne pepper, your favorite chicken rub, and some salt. To prepare our chicken, we're gonna salt it generously to make sure that we can draw the liquid out as well as help the flavor. So I've got some salt here that on all sides, we're gonna sprinkle each one of our chicken thighs. And then flip them and salt again. Now ideally you want to do this the night before, but as long as you get it a couple hours ahead of time, that's going to be enough for what we need. You really want it to have an opportunity to absorb those and get the osmosis going and all the great scientific things that chicken does when you salt it. So we're going to put this back in the plastic and bring out some that we salted earlier. All right, now that our chicken's had a chance to absorb some of that salt, we're gonna give it a final season before we cook it. So we're gonna make sure to pat it down really well with some paper towels. You're gonna get both sides of them and really just try to get as much of that liquid that the salt drew out off as possible. Now to finish it off, I'm gonna put on some gloves just to make cleanup easier. There we go. We're gonna hit it with a little bit more salt, just one last time. Not quite as much as we used the first time, just a little bit. And then I'm gonna use some roasted garlic powder and some cayenne pepper just to give it a nice kick. I don't put too much on, but don't be afraid to be generous. This is the main kind of peppery flavor that you get in it. So use as much as you'd like. And then I'm just gonna rub that in, make sure you get all those little nooks and crannies. And do the same on the other side. A little bit of salt. A little bit of cayenne. And a little bit of garlic powder. And just pat that in. Excellent, and then these guys are ready to roll. All right, our last bit of preparation before we go to the stove is that we're gonna mince our garlic. So we're just gonna take a minute real quick. All right, we're just gonna melt our butter in a cast iron skillet over medium heat. Doesn't need to be too hot. In fact, when it gets too hot, I find it tends to spark a lot. So we've just got our real soft butter that's going in around the pan. While we're doing this, we've also got the oven preheating to 350 degrees. For this recipe, we start in the pan on the stovetop, and then we finish it up, same pan, in the oven. So whether you're using cast iron or not, make sure that it is a oven-proof pan that you're using. All right, as soon as your butter is dissolved and just starting to bubble like this, we're gonna put the chicken in. Now we wanna put it in first, skin side down. One of my favorite things about this recipe is that this chicken gets this really crispy skin that's really lovely. So we're gonna go skin side down, all 4 of them. And then just let them sit there. Very important not to move them or poke at them or anything like that. We're gonna leave them here for 5 minutes until we flip, and then we'll do another 5 minutes on the other side. All right, we've had this on this side for about 5 minutes now. We're gonna flip them over. You can see there's this really great brown butter forming in the bottom that's gonna turn into our sauce later on. But let's see how these guys look. Nice, a little bit of crisping. It'll crisp up way more in the oven later on. There we go. We're gonna leave them for another 5 minutes on this side before we make the sauce and then put them in the oven. All right, these guys have been going for another 5 minutes. We're gonna take them off the heat now to make the sauce. Just put them on a plate or something nearby. Now we've got all this really great brown butter stuff down here. We're gonna turn the heat all the way off, let it calm down just a little bit. It's still pretty sizzly there. And then we're gonna add in our garlic. As if it wasn't smelling good enough already. And then we're gonna add in our chicken rub. I've been using this Roadkill Grill chicken rub, which is really great. Whatever your favorite chicken seasoning will work fine here. Just give a dash of it all around. Stir it up a little bit. Make sure that garlic's browning on all sides. And then as soon as the bubbles seem to have calmed down enough, this may still freak out a little bit, we're gonna add our lemon juice. I've found that it always kind of explodes in a shower of sparks, so just be very careful while doing this. You want to get as much juice out of your lemon as possible because this is where that really great lemony flavor for the recipe comes from. Give it a stir just so that they get to know each other. We're not really trying to cook anything at this stage because we're about to stick it in our oven, which is fully preheated at that 350 that we set it to earlier. Now we're gonna add the chicken back into the pan, skin side up, so that the oven air will get it crisping. Then we're gonna grab our hot pad here and stick it right in the oven, not covered or anything. And we'll leave it there to cook for 25 minutes at 350. As it comes out of the oven, I like to flip it over just to get a little more of those juices on top before letting it rest for a few minutes. And that's my recipe for lemon pepper chicken. I hope you guys enjoy it at home. One of the things I love about this recipe is how affordable it all is. With a few spices you probably already have and a little bit of chicken, this typically comes together for less than $10 and serves me 4 meals, so it's fantastic. You can plate it up like we've done here with some rice or a salad, as I mentioned, or just enjoy it on its own. It's a fantastic flavor. I love to make some toast with the leftover lemon butter in the pan the next morning, which is fantastic and a great way to procrastinate doing the dishes. Jesus Christ, I had some cuts on my hand or something. I'm burning alive right now. Yeah, really getting in there.